last night. Realign that. Alright, so I think there hasn't been any client changes. I just wanted to check real quick. Game.cpp, version number 204. Yeah, I just looked at the latest tags and that's it. I'm gonna fix a typo here. So I've got some little things I want to fix up, but I was actually not completely satisfied with the interface we had before. Well, this is still kind of a notes thing. So we've got click right. Okay, we've got holding keys. We've got mode activation keys, which I'm not sure is going to work out. We've also got alt click keys, similar to how E does the right click in the base game. So these are the main things I'm wondering about, and one of the things I'm curious is how do we make that interact with lock mode properly? So I feel like modal might be a problem, but it would also solve the locking problem. So it's probably going to be an easy-ish thing to do. So right now, it's only while held. Oh, an interact person doesn't do lock at all. It should move camera, right? And then key up. If we want to make it modal, that was person mode. But that would make it impossible to get back into basic mode. Well, you could unlock screen with that. Which, I mean, in theory, it still does everything, but it'd be a little. I should probably have some sort of escape key if I did that. Make and copy onelife.exe build Windows OneLife. Yeah. And I think I've still got that leaked from last Saturday. It's, you know, the update, you get birth sounds for Eves now. All right. So we're in default mode now. If we go into move mode, oh, did I not? Also, that's Q. Oh, right. Okay, so we go back to basics here because I've got my keypad set for alternate stuff, but I don't have this testing application set up for that. So go to move mode, and I went into auto run, but then we don't interact with anything. We go into object mode, we don't move. We only interact with things, and we are screen locked. And then if I want to go to eat, I go into person mode, I eat. Don't move. Oh. Move mode needs to clear. Actually, that should be on key down. And that Z. Alright, so it loads up in default mode. We're in move mode, we scroll. If we're in object mode, we stop and do this for a bit. Go back to move mode. Don't have to worry about picking up random objects. And it's just remembering to change mode, because it used to be you could just walk up, eat something, eat it. Now it's object mode, person mode. And that's one of the reasons I was thinking of doing these as alternate clicks. But that doesn't let you do... Well, I guess you could still screen lock it. Or you just leave screen lock as a thing. Yep. Oh, we need to actually clear that out. And oh, you can't change mode with the safe field open. Right, because you could still do stuff with that. Well, if the buttons were alternate clicks, then you wouldn't have to change the behavior of regular clicks. So that could be an advantage. I think I'd probably want to do something else for eating. If I went with, because like move mode, object mode, I can kind of see. But eating is like object to person a lot. Well, actually, I have a number of problems that are for self-eating, and we still have to deal with how do you interact with other people. But for self-eating, Whoop. Would that be worth having its own command? Okay, there is no, like, eat command. Food change. There's the description. Hey, is food. Which is only used in one place. Get transhintable. Okay. Eat hint. Does it just resolve to a use on person that happens to be end up being an eat action? Well, alright, so look at that later. Key down. So if we were to make these alt clicks, it actually gets kind of hairy. Well, no, he's got the E key, which should do all the stuff. It might end up being a lot of stuff. Oh. Oh, no, it's only a mod click, so it's not a button per se. So this may actually be a little bit more involved here. Mouse vector. Well, this is specifically for movement. Oh, yeah, just world mouse X, world mouse Y. Are those... Okay, so no, it's not actually free. But in the simple case, it's just this, and then pointer down at that, with whatever modifiers we put on it, which unfortunately are just sort of status variables. I almost want to make a function for this, but... Alright, so X is our object mode. Could maybe do that. Pointer down. I should have done reverse search mode. And then I guess we'd switch back to interact default. So it's X is Z. No, Z is move mode. That might work. And then C is person mode. So that would make them function like just alternate click buttons. Okay, I got move, move. Okay, we get the highlights because it's not a modal thing. Wait. Oh, right. There's no point, there's no mouse up for the mouse down. So I either need to do a fake up or... Although that's certainly a interesting way to trigger auto run. But I think that I do want something for more precision movement. Eat. Ooh, my object button is not working. Interesting. Is it mouse down? Yeah, it's a key down. So mouse down equals false. Oh, maybe that puts it into hold mode and then it doesn't... Because that's still interact, person, interact, move. Interact object. Maybe it was the mouse down? Maybe you have to do an actual pointer up. I don't think it does a whole lot, but... Of course, I guess the point... He only uses... I mean, fake clicks are generally only used... Oh. Well, now my move doesn't work at all. I can go to object, I can click on person. That released the camera. But that doesn't even register as a move. Arr! Oh, and that would not work at all if you were using Steam. So I may have to put this down there. But anyway, this point doesn't matter if you're using Steam. This becomes more, well, I was trying to preserve that case as is, but this would be like more if... And I said shift width equals 4. So I know that when I set that interaction mode and then did a real click, it worked. Do I have to do pointer down, pointer up? Oh. After I click once it works. Wait, is that literally I have to click once? So what happens in a real click? It must reset some internal state that doesn't get set through the fake clicks. And that actually becomes like a system call into pointer down. Mod click, force down click. Mouse already down is mouse down. First server message, unloading first object, action pending. What happens on a real click versus a... Do I have to have done a pointer move message? And so it's actually bumping the pointer that does it? That we do different mode. Do myself, I can do objects. But until I've done a normal regular click, what? This is Z mode. So I don't think it's pointer up. We want to reset that because we don't want to fake. Did faking a hold work? But that's essentially the next click from the other code that made it run, not the initial one. Yeah, okay, so that did not affect that, but generally we want that. So what the heck is different with this? All right, so is it actually that interaction mode? Okay, so it's something with interact move that doesn't work the first time. I know it's a standard move because we took that off. So pointer down. What does interact? Well, this can also be by what it excludes. I would expect all these to be false. A move to an empty spot where not already standing can interrupt current move. It's an or, should be fine. And that's specifically object. Specifically object. And that's that code again. Now that's supposed to be doing the same thing. As force ground click. Which, in this method, you need interaction mode. It's interact object, and we're back to here. Oh. So we've got our coordinate fix-up that I guess could be wrong. Okay, so the reason I did that I must not have switched. No, I did switch that back. Maybe I hit the wrong key. Oh, you're dead. No, that interacted with an object. So if I click... What? This was working as a mode before. I mean, I changed this. But if it works as a mode... No, it doesn't do anything. No, still doesn't do anything, even after clicking. Well, no, after clicking to move, it works. What? 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 What happens the first time we're able to move that enables further moves? Don't allow clicking an object. Well, yeah, that's where I got all. That's this is continued movement. Continued movement. So I need to figure out where. Okay, so the only place we send a move message. If must move. Not mod click, not trying to pick up baby, use on baby later. Our live object. Dest ID equals 0. Even if we can't actually get close enough to execute action. So that's either a move closer or dest ID equals 0. Is it possible that some of these flags are not? Pointer down starts off mod click false. That seems to start off false. You know what we're looking at? Trying to pick up baby equals starts off equal to false. Use on baby later starts off equal to false. All right, we need to know must move empty. And now, we can use that as our tag. And must move closer. All right, are we even getting to those conditions? All right, so we need one life, build, Windows. I'm keeping too many of these at this point, I think. We are not triggering either of those conditions, and we're Okay. Are we getting to this point in the program? Or is some early exit condition triggering? Load file. About to check must move. Okay, we clicked once. We got to that point in the program. We did not do this. So, you're an integer. Is there a printf style for booleans? %b. There isn't. When passed to printf, you can use d. Oh, that's pseudocode. Okay. Sure. Must move dest ID mod click. Trying to pick up baby. Use on baby later. Interaction mode. There's the XY. That really ought to be somewhere else. Let's check these first. Maybe something doesn't end up setting the location properties correctly. Oh, actually, hey, I should, pass actual parameters to this. Novel concept to know. Use on baby later. Interaction mode. All right. So make sure window has focus. Object mode still works. So that was actually a lot of clicks that might. But interaction mode tells us something. I think, yeah, if that one's move, dest ID 0, mod click is 1. I wonder if there's some sort of bug in is mouse button right. where that starts true. Maybe because the slash n. Okay. I clearly completely misremembered that word. Is last mouse button right? Yeah, I don't... There might not be a good way to reset that. But that's going to affect everything from a key press scenario. Wait. What? Is it like reading from the system? Maybe it's a random value? Maybe reading it twice fixes it somehow? But this should be past the point where we've checked it. Yeah, now mod click is 0. What? Was it changed by calling this? What? That makes me kind of nervous, though. If it just randomly changes. Can only differentiate right clicks from other clicks. Turn M last mouse button right. In button. Oh. This is an uninitialized variable. which normally wouldn't matter. Huh. Potentially all of these, doing any of these as buttons, is going to suffer from that problem. Because this isn't a function where we pass that information in from about what kind of click it is. We're just using this sort of ambient environmental information, which affects every click, or every call to the function, whether it's a click or not. Oh, second problem with this way of doing things is that this only does basic interactions. For right-click stuff, you'd still have to do your usual targeting. So I could not, for instance, use this to do anything with the basket. So in this mode, we would probably want to say that mod click is always off if it's one of our special modes. But I would then need to have new interaction modes that do the alt behavior. Alternately, we make it full modal. Which I'm not sure I like. All right, so right now, this as written will not work, or not work well. We could fix mod click, but then it wouldn't allow right clicks at all. If M key down, so it's actually easier from a patch standpoint to do extra code here. So as we're currently written, then mod click equals false. So we won't have to worry about any of that stuff. That would be a problem for other things, but right now we're quick in and outs. So that will guarantee that will work. So one of the things I was thinking about is, how do we determine that we're eating something? Or that it's a use on self interaction versus a use on clothing interaction? Server protocol, heat change, last ID, current heat value, Holding food. Self. Okay. Taken on self. Or to add, remove clothing. If holding food, I is ignored, then self removes clothing, and I specifies clothing slot. So we have to be the self message, and we would have to know if we're holding food. And I guess the issue could be that sometimes you hit the backpack. But it says if holding food, I is ignored. Oh, self, remove from backpack, clothing sets, drop, adding something to a container. Except when adding something to own clothing. So this is a differentiation between like drop, remove, self. Hit clothing index. If not mod click or hit clothing index equals -1, then we send this. Mod click on hit clothing. Add to our own clothing container. Remove from own clothing container. Okay, click on self. Speaks for it to be a whole other key. Because we do want some way to say interact with people, or at least go to default mode. So restricting this to hit self. If I just reset the hit clothing index. Yeah, hit self, hit clothing index equals -1. Then it would be a use on self. But I don't want to do that in just person mode. And I still need a way to get back to something like default mode. Well, no, I'm resetting to default mode afterwards, so we've got our normal clicks. You could still do the right clicks there, although I think that might need to have some adjustment. So you essentially have the eat button because that's a super common action. Next action message to send. Yeah, so I don't know if direct sending this would really work. Wait. This must get picked up somewhere else. Waiting to send bug report. Equals null, not equal to null. Send to server socket. So we start moving locally, and server agrees their position. So we hear from server that we actually ate. Okay, so that's a special case. Hmm. So that's going to actually be probably more common than other interactions. I mean, really just object mode and move mode would cover most things, but eating has been a bit frustrating in general. So do I make my person key just an eat key and let interacting with other people be a default mode thing? Or do we just duplicate, would we even call pointer down for this? Or do we just say, we repeat all of these checks. We don't care about that one. We might have to care about that one. This actually just kind of removes interact person mode for the time being. Which was C. Okay, if not in motion, we don't care about any of that. Right, that was a condition, so all of this is in. Ooh, do we have an rlive object here? I don't think we do. Get our live object down here in emote. Holding ID food value, next action eating, next message to send. We've got a click dest. There was a check in hit self. No, I was thinking of something else. Map X, closest cell. Which means that's the world coordinates? Well, that's the check for pointer. Click dest is this. You could probably insert that directly. And this is going to be, well, don't even need to print if that. All right, so that brackets that one. This is not even going to affect that. Because we don't have to target it at all. Oh, what's in X and Y? This is world. Oh, this we still have to do. No, not world mouse X. This is... Oh, right. This is just, send X. Map global offset. Our live object. Is it XD? Yeah. It should be our location because we're not in motion. Oh no, YD. Okay, so that should be... I guess I should be moving here. That's a move. That's a... Uh-oh. It stopped working. Object interact. So a click worked. That's clearly next action eating. I'm probably still in like object mode. So the client recognizes it's trying to eat. Why? Why, oh why? It must not, this must not be the correct coordinate? So I think what we need to do is we need to print out next action message to send for both of these cases and see what's different. All right, so if we do, all right. Hey, we've got a berry. So if we try, doesn't even care. If we've clicked once, no. If we've moved, not even trying. Of course, maybe the client doesn't realize it's holding something because it got loaded in. All right, let's try a few more with normal, because that's clearly. Oh, I'm probably in object mode. And that should have reset to default. Well, great. Now the regular one doesn't even work. When you make it impossible to eat. Okay, location, 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 location. So when not working, they all look the same. But I was able to eat before by clicking on myself. Maybe was something messed up because I loaded in with the berry in hand? Okay, standard click. I was able to eat that one. I probably need some debugging for which mode I'm in. I think one of my modes must be messing me up here. Although it's recognizing that, it's just not. Yeah, I'm getting myself into some weird state here. But I'm not seeing any difference in the messages, and I probably should tag these. So I can better distinguish them. Oh, actually, that's the point. Am I even getting to this? I'm just seeing a bunch of messages. I'm spamming so many of them, I don't know if I'm actually getting both cases. Okay, that can eat. That can't. Click, button, click, click. -6, -11, -1. Seems like it's the same. But at this point, I've like completely broken eating. So if I just don't do that, because we have... Yeah, and key down, we do our fake clicks, we do that. Can I even eat normally now? Oh, no. Okay, so the problem is I'm on super low food usage. So we're probably fine. I just have to get hungry enough. And I've been kind of like getting hungry enough at random times. Comparatively. Or like, every time I come back. I guess for this, I would actually want to turn off the hunger mod. And the button doesn't even work. No, other one. What? Of course, now I ate again. Pick up a berry and move. I don't even try to eat. That tries to eat. Not in motion, not focused. Next action, eating. Shouldn't be safe field. Jump to river, sir. Flame person. In motion until we receive update. So why are we failing here? I really have a hard time believing it's that. So I need to get to that state and then just hit it a bunch so it spams the logs, essentially. And we can identify if we're even sending a message. Okay, well, here we are. Move. Unfortunately, we have to wait for a hunger update, but yeah, we're not. And now it's fine. No, it was move. Yeah, I did something else. So boom, 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 boom. Do we end with a big long line of those? -16, -16, -1. So it seems like we're getting to the point of sending it. But we're not getting any attempt at, you know what, it is after moving. Or maybe if the server thinks it's in motion? But that's like the only thing besides the safe field that should, well, there's next action eating. You'd expect some kind of wiggle. Oh, wait a minute. Is this getting rejected on the server? I think it does print some stuff out. Yeah, it's getting a bunch of self messages. Well, I guess I don't know if it's getting those self messages. All right, we're trying to print that out. We are compiling. Okay. Okay, it's not responding at all. In motion 0. Not even attempting. Maybe there's some other setup that happens in the regular click handler. Now we were putting this into move mode. Interact move. Should move camera true. Mouse down false. All right, so what do we have right now? Well, we have a full character. That's one thing. So we have a move key. We have an action key. We have attempt to use on self. Oh, which works actually after you've interacted with food. We have move, we have object, we have object. Nope, object. Move. And now it's fine. Yep. It might take a while to get used to this. Alright, so we've got a dedicated move button. A dedicated object button. We might have dedicated eat button, and I think that normal clicking should get us back into a... I happen to get hungry at the moment. So that's something we could test today. I don't know if it's going to work. And object mode locks us in. But I don't know if it's going to be as good as screen locking for, like, picking that position. Okay, so we've had that stuff. The click on self, or the use on self, is still a little funny. We're turning off modal for now. And then I want to copy onelife.exe. For testing later today. All right, speaking of later today, there's supposed to be a party going on. So I would like to wrap up this a little early-ish because I normally do some Stepmania on Wednesdays. So I want to make sure I leave time for that. So programming is over for now. I'm going to be back in a few minutes for Stepmania. I have to change some stream settings. I'm going to be, after like lunch and shower, I'm going to be back in the afternoon to play some One Life and see if we can actually do anything besides stay alive. It might be a custom server, so we might be mostly the old-time players, so maybe that'll work out. But meanwhile, thanks for watching. Thanks for hosting. I'm not going to host anybody right now because I'm going to be back to play Stepmania. But I am normally coding in the mornings, and then coding usually ends up going a little bit later. And then switching over to Stepmania right around now. But if you want to hang out with me, I will be back. If you're just here for some Code or One Life, thanks for hanging out, and maybe next time.